Hey guys, it's General BHA here bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Smartwings sent me over one of their smart window shades to show you guys. And this thing is awesome. Without further ado, let's dive right in and see what all we can do with it. Here we go. All right, so normally this is where I'm going to go into details about how much it costs and where you can get it, but you're going to head over to Smartwings website, and I'll have the link in the description below. Basically, there are so many configurations and options for you. It's hard to really tell you how much it's going to cost because every time you order one of these, they're going to build it to your specifications based on how long you need it, how wide you need it, what type of motor you want versus like Zigbee or Alexa capabilities, or maybe even HomeKit. There are so many different options out there. What side of the window you want the motor on, whether you want a remote or not. So because of all that, you're really going to have to head over there to the website and check it out for yourself. But the one we're going to look at today is a Zigbee model. So we'll get it added into SmartThings and probably Home Assistant and kind of see what all we can do with it from there.
All right, so let's do a quick run through of everything we're going to cover in this video. For starters, we'll of course unbox the smart shade. Once we do that, then of course we will go through kind of the steps of getting it installed. Once we have it mounted in the window, then we are ready to get it added into the SmartThings app. Since this is a Zigbee window shade, I'll be using SmartThings to control it. Once we have it added into SmartThings, we'll just kind of go over the configuration options, what's available to you as far as making changes or anything within the app. Once we do that, then we'll kind of get it added into Home Assistant, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then, of course, lastly, I'll just kind of give you my final thoughts. So let's get started. Okay, let's unbox this thing. All right, so this box is kind of long, so it's kind of hard to fit in the video very good. This is going on my bedroom window. It's kind of a long window, so kind of bear with me here. Let's see if we can't get this thing opened up. All right, so we got the instructions in here is kind of how to set it up and get this thing installed. Let's see. All right, so the model that I went with comes with a solar panel. I kind of like the idea of the solar panel just because it allows you to, because you don't have to have a cable like ran down to a wall outlet somewhere to keep this thing powered. So that works pretty well. All right, so this thing does have a battery inside of it, so you don't have to have it powered all the time. You charge the battery. I think it takes about 6 hours, and then you're good to go. It says the battery will last for about 600 runs. All right, so there's several little boxes in here. Let's look at the first one. It looks like inside of it, you get a USB-C charge cable. So basically, if you're not using the solar panel, this is how you will charge the battery on this unit. And it's actually a pretty decent length USB-C cable, so I kind of like that. In the second box, we get the remote. So one of the options that you have when you're ordering this thing, of course, is to whether or not you want a remote or not. I kind of like the idea of having the remote. If for some reason your network's down and you can't control it via Zigbee, however you control it, then you have the remote here to kind of manually control it. So that's kind of nice. I'm guessing in this last box, we're going to have the mounting brackets, and yes, they are. You get two of these, one for each side. The unit will just kind of clip in place on these mounting brackets, so it should be pretty easy to install. Other than that, all that's left in the box is the window shade itself. This thing's actually pretty good quality. It does not feel cheap at all. It seems pretty heavy duty. I can't wait to see how this thing's going to turn out. So let's move on to the next step and we'll get this thing installed. All right, so I'm going to install this, as I already said, in my bedroom window here. So you can see I have the white faux blinds. I'll have to get those things removed. All right, so here I have removed the old blinds completely. I had to get all the brackets, little mounting pieces all out of the way, since this is going to go inside the window frame here. Now these are pretty easy to install. Basically you get those two mounting brackets that will kind of mount at the top there. It takes just a couple of screws to install those, and basically you get anchors with those as well. So if for some reason you can't hit a wood stud or anything like that, you do have anchors to kind of give you that added support, so that kind of makes it nice. Now that we have those brackets installed, then we're going to install the solar panel here. So the solar panel here on the side, it just sticks directly to the window using the 3M double stick tape. You're going to want to put it on the side that your motor is in the window shade itself. So when you place your order for the window shade, you can choose whether you want the motor on the left or the right side. Obviously, if you're not using the solar panel, you probably want to have it close to some sort of wall outlet. But as you can see here, we've got the window shade mounted into the brackets. Everything looks pretty good. I haven't quite figured out what to do with that cable yet. But other than that, it actually looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead and give it a shot with the remote just to see how that works. And as you can see here, it's moving up and down pretty well. I really like the 100% blackout shade. You know, when it comes all the way down, it actually does a pretty good job of blocking out the light. So that's really nice. Now that we have it installed, let's move on to the next step and get this thing added into Smartthings, which is what I'll be using for my Zigbee control. Okay, so adding it into Smartthings should go pretty smoothly. It's really not that hard to do. So we're basically just going to add a new device. And then we can basically just search by brand. We're going to look for Smartwings. Since Smartwings already has device handlers defined in the Smartthings app, it makes it super easy to actually get those things added. It's asking us what room we want to install it in, so we can go ahead and list that here. I'm going to go ahead and choose bedroom. At this point, it's basically telling us to put it into pairing mode, which this is pretty simple to do. There's basically one button on the motor of the window shade, so basically just hold that down for roughly 6 seconds, basically until the LED light turns red. Once it is red, then you know it's in pairing mode, and Smartthings should be able to find it. We'll give it a second here. And success, it looks like it's found it. We can go ahead and change the name if we want. I'm going to call it bedroom window. That's pretty much it. We are now able to control the window shade from the Smartthings app. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll go over all the config options available to us in Smartthings. Okay, so just to do a quick rundown of what you can do within the Smartthings app for controlling this window shade. Let's see, we're going to click on the 3 dots up here at the top. And this is where you can change the name or the room that you have defined if you want to do that. There's also a settings section here. You have the ability to change the preset setting, which is by default 50%. I'm not exactly sure what the preset setting is for, so I think I'll just leave it the default for now. Other than that, all of your controls are here in the main page of the app. So you have the ability to open and close as well as pause. So if you started opening or closing it and you decide you want to stop at a certain point, you can hit that pause button. Of course, it will do that. Looks like there is a slider here as well, so you can basically move it to a certain percentage, open or close if you prefer to do that. So that makes it pretty neat as well. Even though we had the ability to change the preset position in the settings, we also have the ability to do that on the main page as well. So right here, I'm still not exactly sure what that is, so I'm not touching it for now. And then it looks like the only thing left here is basically the battery level. So you can keep track of that battery percentage here at the bottom. So that makes it kind of nice to have that right there available to you as well. As far as options in the SmartThings app, the only other thing you can really do is you can create routines if you wanted to, possibly open the shades in the morning, close them at night, something like that. But that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll get this thing set up in Home Assistant. Okay, so adding it into Home Assistant is super easy. We're going to be using the SmartThings integration, so that's of course what makes it pretty simple. Anytime we add new devices to SmartThings, all we need to do to get those into Home Assistant is to basically just do a reload on the integration. Now I've already done that, but this is what you would do here. Just right click and reload. Once that's done, you can go into the integration and see the newly added device. Let's see, there it is, bedroom window. So if we click on that, we can kind of see what all we get with it. Let's see, we have the ability to open or close the window shade. And it also gives us the ability to control it with a slider as well. Kind of similar setup to what they have in SmartThings. The only thing that I wish that this included is the battery level. So we could keep that kind of monitored in Home Assistant, set up alerts and whatnot. But other than that, it's a pretty nice little setup. But that's pretty much it, getting it added into Home Assistant. Very quick and painless. Let's go ahead and move on to that last step, and I will give you my final thoughts. As I kind of give you my final thoughts, you can see here that I am controlling it with Home Assistant, and it is working pretty good. It's very responsive. I really like the idea behind Smartwings. I like how customizable they are and how many different options they have, so definitely worth checking out. They're not going to be as cheap as some of the other products out there, but pretty much it's kind of the idea that you get what you pay for. So you're getting that better quality. It's going to cost you a little bit more. So again, if you're looking for window shades like these, not your regular blinds, but more of the actual window shade style, which are kind of nice, have that nice 100% blackout option, which really makes it nice if you were trying to make the room dark for movies or whatever. You want to check out the link in the description below. I'll have a link to their website. Go over there. There's so many different options to choose from. You're going to want to check it out and see for yourself.
As always, I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burns home automation merchandise. And also check out Smonet. I'll have a link in the description below for their site as well. Tons of smart home products, all kinds of different categories. You're going to want to see what deals they currently have running. And if you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood. I'll have the link in the description below for that as well. And if you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.